The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, please visit our website at dallasgenealogy.org.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to see everyone here and glad to have everyone joining us online. My name is Jim Thornhill. I'm president of the Dallas Genealogical Society. So I'm going to call our meeting today to order. And I want to thank everybody very, very much for joining us today. Our meeting minutes are available on the website. There's a link there right next to the page where you actually join the meeting. So if you're interested in reviewing those minutes, we would love to hear any comments or corrections you have. So I'm going to ask if anybody has any corrections to the minutes for last month. Anybody online? Okay, hearing none, we will mark those minutes as approved. Here is our financial summary for the month of March. And you can look over that and see if anybody has any comments about that. Oh, is that February? Oh, it says February. I didn't change the name of the month, but it is March. I copied the figures over, but didn't change the date. So sorry about that. Okay, we'll move along with that. If you would like to consider contributing to the DGS newsletter, there are two ways you can do that. One of those is to a program we have going called Out of the Attic. If you have any artifacts or memorabilia or old letters or anything like that that you've found in your attic or stuffed up in an upper closet, we would love to hear about those. And you can either email that to newsletter@dallasgenealogy.org and tell them about that. Or if you want to write out a couple of paragraphs describing, what that artifact was, and maybe send us some pictures of that, that would be great. We'll get that in the newsletter to share that with our membership. The other thing we're encouraging is we're asking you to participate in our writing contest for 2023. The subject is families on the move. We want to hear stories about your family's migration or immigration. So whether they're coming from overseas or whether they're just moving across the country or just moving to the next state or around within one state, anything will be fine. So we would love to have those articles about that. We will, Tony, did you see that message in the chat?
Yes, I did.
Okay. We will have that writing contest going on through November. And at the end of November, we will judge those articles and then we'll announce a winner for that next year. So we'd encourage anybody, and you don't have to be a Pulitzer Prize winning author. Even if you're just getting started and just interested in writing, we would love to have your article and publish it in our newsletter. So please consider contributing to the newsletter for that. Our spring seminar is coming up in less than a month, and it's going to be on Judy Russell, speaking about how you can use the law to find new avenues and new things to look for in your genealogy research. And I know the law can come in really handy. I had one case where I was working on where I found a man and a person who I thought was his son together in the tax roll. When I went back and looked at the laws for that state, it turned out that when he was 16, he was eligible to be taxed for a poll tax. And so that confirmed for me that was indeed his son. So the law can come in really handy for you when you're doing your research. So she's going to be talking about that. And for those of you who have heard Judy before, she's a dynamic speaker and full of information. So you can go online to our website at dallasgenealogy.org to register for that as well. Our other seminars for 2023 are going to be one in the summer, and that's going to be Cindy Engel, who is the founder and the producer of Cindy's List, which is a really great, huge database of all different kinds of genealogy sites. She's going to be talking about how to successfully mine the World Wide Web. And then in October, in the fall, we're going to have Michael Strauss, who is an expert on military genealogy research. And he's going to be talking about the 20th century wars, the wars that happened in the last century, and how to track down those records. Our only upcoming meeting this year is our awards celebration on May 6th. And we are having a speaker for our award celebration this year, Mamie McCullough, who is I've heard her before. She's very, very funny, very, very entertaining. And she's also going to be giving away a copy of her book to anyone who attends the awards luncheon. The awards luncheon or celebration will not be online. It will just be in person. So, but if you're a member, we're going to feed you. So that's good incentive for everybody to come. So we would love to have everybody there. You can sign up for that by going to our website at dallasgenealogy.org, and there's a link. Just click on the events and go down to the general meetings, and there'll be a link to register for that. Our executive committee our nominating committee has gotten together, and they have proposed a slate of nominations, and we want to thank them very much for doing this, because they did a lot of work, contacted a lot of people to try to find these nominees for you to vote on next May at our awards banquet. And these are our nominating committee members. So thank you all very much for serving and for doing that. Let's give them a little round of applause. So our officer nominations are, our secretary is going to be Dr. Terry Turner. Vice president will be Sharon Bowles. And our presidential nominee is Tony Hansen. And like I say, we will be voting on those at the awards banquet next month. So I want to thank those three people for being willing to serve for us. We couldn't do this without our volunteers, so we really appreciate them. So just to let you know how this process all works, we'll have an election next month at the awards banquet. And at that time, we will elect those three, or any other nominations. We'll have an election for those three people. Once we elect those three officers, then over the summer, those three officers will identify the rest of the people they want on the executive committee. Now, our board is separated into two parts. One part is our executive committee, and the other part is the regular board members. The executive committee, the only kind of difference in them is that they have the authority that if something comes up that needs to be decided in a hurry, then they can get together and make that decision. And I can tell you from 5 or 6 or 7 years of serving on the board, that's only happened a handful of times. And then it's nothing major. We try to reserve anything major for the full board meeting. Once that executive committee is established, then at the September board meeting, they will come together and appoint the rest of the board members. So that's how that all works. We have a lot of events still going on. I know there's events still happening with us in our society, but also in other societies in our area. And if you'll go online and check the events tab, look at our calendar, that'll give you all the things that people have told us about that are happening with us, as well as in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So be sure and check that out. We also have, for our awards banquet, we're going to be giving out 5 different awards, and we would love to hear what you have to say about those. We need your ideas to help us who to give those awards to. So if you'll go online, again, at dallasgenealogy.org, and click on events and go down to annual awards, you can read there what the criteria are for each one of those awards. And there's a form that I'll show you in a second to fill in, who you would like to nominate for those awards. Also, you'll see down here on the bottom right of the screen, there's a little block that says where you can register. So you can register for the awards banquet. We need to know how many meals to prepare for. So if you could make sure and register for us, we'll make sure you have food to eat. But if you click on that, on one of these links down here at the bottom, it will take you to this next page. And then, anyway, if you click one of these links at the bottom, it will take you to a page that will tell you, all those criteria and what the parameters are for that award, and then you'll be able to nominate someone. So we would love to hear your input on that. So our society, like we've talked about before, works because of all of you. We don't have any paid staff. What we do have is a very good board of directors who is very supportive and very helpful. So we're not going to ask you to jump in the middle of the fire or jump in the frying pan, so to speak. We're going to ask you to give us a few hours a week, and then we're going to help you. We're going to train you and give you whatever you need to do that job. But we do need people to help you, to help us mainly as board members. So if you would be willing to give us just a few hours a week, we would love to talk to you about that. And you can either email me at president@dallasgenealogy.org or do the info@dallasgenealogy.org, either one, and just let us know you'd be willing to fill one of those positions, and we'll talk about that. Our website committee has been, and it continues to be, hard at work, and I wanted to show you a couple of pages that they have done for us to help explain what's going on. One is there's a new web page about committees, where if you're wondering, what jobs might be available or where you might fit in, how you might be able to help our organization, you can go to this page and it'll kind of explain to you what our needs are, what committees we need, and what those committees do. So maybe you can find something that's a good fit for you. So be sure and check that out, and then let us know if you would like to help with those. Another new page we have is the frequently asked questions page. So if you have a question that comes up about how you do different things or how you access your account or anything like that, we're going to try to continually update this with issues that come up. So be sure and check that out if you have any questions, and then you can email us if the answer is not on here. So I would like to ask Patty Smith to come up here and introduce our speaker for today.
This has been a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. If you're already a member, thank you. Your fees have been supporting these and other society activities. If you're not yet a member, please consider joining now. Go to dallasgenealogy.org and click on the membership tab.